Well, good morning.
Good morning.
It's that time again, Wednesday, right
Yes.
after the UWM Sales Huddle. We're excited. We're here at Finance Mortgage in our studio, and a lot of good things to talk about. You know, Matt always comes out with a bang, doesn't he? I mean, he
Always.
just is like ready. He's fired. He's ready to go. That's what I really love about him. And you know, he brought out some really good points. But one thing that he just came right out of the gate with: I want all loans.
Yes.
I mean, that's pretty ballsy. I mean, that's pretty confident, right? I want everything. And he rolled out some pretty cool things. What did you like about it?
You know, I really like that quote they had at the start, right? If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, oftentimes people want an opportunity, right? And they don't have one. And then there's sometimes people that have the opportunity and they do nothing with it. Right. So it's definitely a big thing. Matt started off the huddle with, you know, how do you improve your game? Right. And what does it take to become better?
Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. I guess there was over 1,000 LOs that were there in attendance as well. And that's very meaningful to us because that's where we're at next week.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Right?
It's gonna be
We all
exciting.
leave next
Forward to
week.
it.
We're
Yeah.
super excited. We're coming out there. We're 10 people from our office, and we're coming out with a vengeance out there. Finance Mortgage.
Yes,
you know?
sir.
They're going to know who we are. Oh, that's super exciting. How about you, Zach?
No, I mean, one thing that always stands out to me about Matt is how connected he is to the small stuff. With somebody who's got that much big picture stuff to focus on at all times with his job, being the CEO of the biggest wholesale mortgage company in the United States, you know he's got a lot of big picture stuff to handle that we don't even think about on a day-to-day. But then for him to come out every Wednesday, talk to us in person, and to focus on the small stuff, like using our tools that he provides, using those social media posts to kind of make ourselves better. And then I think him leading it into not procrastinating and not letting that, you know, getting the tough stuff done early. Don't let it stack up against you. I think it's really important to see him kind of remind us about that every week.
Yeah, that was a key point to me too. Is, you know, sometimes we wake up in the morning and we might have that little knot in our stomach, you know, because we know we have something we have to take care of, and it might be a little unpleasant. Might be some news we have to share with a client or one of our realtor partners. Get it done early.
Right.
Just suck it up. Say a little prayer. Whatever we got to do to motivate ourselves. You know, be knowledgeable. Know what we need to say. And just make that call early on. And I like Matt's approach to it. You know, here's the situation. Lay it out honestly. And, you know, here's, we don't have an answer yet, but we're working on it. And I'll get back to you as soon as I have something. Say something.
Right.
And I think that goes a long ways, don't you?
Yeah.
Just give the update.
Yeah.
It will go a long way, even if you can't, even sometimes if you can't respond, it's just like shooting that text back or like miss a call. And it does, you know, it does buy you more time, and it keeps who's ever waiting, you know, for a response.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely goes a long way.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you have an issue, right, you kind of get stuck, right?
It's
Because
true.
you know you have to do something about it and you don't, right? Because it's like you said, it's an uncomfortable conversation, uncomfortable phone call. But like Matt says, take care of it right away. First thing in the morning, just get it done, because you'll feel better once you do. It's not going to fix itself. If it's an issue, you got to handle it. Take care of it.
Yeah, he even made fun of it a little bit, right? He's like, you know, oh man, maybe it's if I don't say anything or just, you know, kind of crawl underneath the rock, maybe it'll fix itself. The problem will go away. It never happens. A lot of times it gets worse.
Yes.
Because we don't say anything, and now we have the realtor or the borrower calling us. That's the worst scenario possible. We need to be proactive. Just get it done. Handle it.
Yeah. One note I made here kind of about what Matt was talking about on that topic was like the 81% versus 93%. Matt brought up a story about a hotel. You know, if you go to the hotel and everything's perfect, whether it's the concierge, the lobby, your room's clean, the food's great, the experience is awesome, you've got about an 81% chance to go back to that hotel, which is good. That's a good number. But if you were to go and something little's messed up, whether it be the room's dirty or the food wasn't up to standard, if someone fixes that problem for you and shows that they're willing to work for you, the retention goes back up to 93% of you going back to that hotel. And we can kind of apply that to ourselves as well. And if we're willing to handle and fix those small problems, then people know that we're problem solvers, not problem makers. So we're not going to create more problems for them.
Yeah, I like the way you phrase that. That's really good. You know, Matt also mentioned something that now is the time to reach out to clients, our past clients. Sometimes we're missing a huge opportunity where we're one and done and we're moving on to the next. But those are our most valuable assets. Those are our advocates. Those are people we already knocked it out of the park for. We should be calling them on the regular. How you doing? Hope everything's well. How's your family? You know anybody I can help? Whatever it is, now's the time to capture and retain our client base, because in the future, things are going to go crazy again. And that's exciting.
Right.
And we're going to be getting a lot more referrals from folks who've already helped.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you have happy clients, right? Where, you give them the client experience, the white glove treatment, right? If you call, you stay in front of them. Because remember, out of sight, out of mind. If you're not in front of them, somebody else will. So you got to stay in front of them, number one, to keep that relationship, right? And number two, like you said, John, ask for referrals.
Yeah. Why is it sometimes we're maybe a little nervous to do that, right? We've been helping them, and and then all of a sudden at the end we go cold. It's like, I don't want to. Wait a minute, you just helped them through a super crazy process, and now at the end,
biggest purchase too.
Yeah, right. And we talked about this before, but the end of the closing, a lot of people think that's just it. But Zach, you did something that was just awesome the other day on Friday. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I drove out to Palm Springs to meet up with a couple clients. We'd just closed on their first house. They came in, and when the first time we met, they didn't have really too much of an idea kind of about the home buying process. But working with our team here at iFinance, we were able to get them educated, get them a place that they liked, right where they wanted to be in Palm Springs. And I went out to see him the other day, and it was great. I got to visit with Milan and his wife and their daughter. We had a great time together, got to see around their new place, look at all the upgrades they're making and everything. And now we got it set up, and I go out and have some dinner with them when their father-in-law comes back from Mexico. He's going to come cook us all dinner, so it should be a great time, keeping the connection going even forward. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's the post-closing that so many of us forget to do. And so what a great example you set with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was awesome. Alan Baydown, he EVP of sales, he was awesome too. He talked about the shiny new toys. We get all these things that are rolled out, the jumbo programs, DSCRs, bank statements, all this great stuff, and we're all excited. Like a kid gets his new, I don't know, PlayStation that's old. What's the new one out there?
I think that's still
okay. That's
we'll go with
cool.
that.
Number 5, I guess.
Yeah, 5 now. Yeah.
They play with it for a week, they master it, and they're like, ugh, what's next, right? So I thought it was some good reminders of making sure we those shiny new toys never lose its newness.
Right.
Never fades, It's important. We use them. We tell all of our realtors about them. That's maybe sometimes we forget that stuff, right? It's like we know all about it, but if we're not sharing it to our realtors, it's like staying top of mind. Oh yeah, my lender does all of this,
Right.
So it's a good reminder for my notes. Let's see here. How about never settle, Terry Sheldon.
Yeah.
Super good point. What'd you like about that? Never settle.
I really like the fact that he's asking the question of what drives you, right?
Yeah.
Why do you get up every morning? Why do you do what you do? Kind of, we talked about it in the past. Like, what's your why, right? Do you have hunger for the next opportunity, right? And then you can ask, well, what is my next opportunity, right? If we have past clients, are we reaching out to our past clients? Are we looking for new clients?
Right.
We're around people all the time. We're in functions all the time. Are we networking? Are we telling people what we do? Does all our friends, do they know what we do? We're lenders. We're here to lend. Do they know about our loan programs?
Right.
Shiny toys, that Alan was talking about, right? A lot of times we just hear about these loan programs, but they kind of go in through one ear, go out through the other, and we're not doing nothing with it. Or, or we just make one post, and because we didn't get any feedback or we didn't get a lead, you don't repost it again. But that's not the mindset we want to have. We want to have that never settle mentality, where we're constantly talking to people, about what we do, about our loan programs, about all the tools that we have, right? Because that's the only way we're going to win. It's consistency, right?
Yeah.
He focuses always on the next opportunity, and just even when things are going good, do not get comfortable.
That was a good point.
That's going to be, that's just where it starts to, like, you don't go with the past clients and where you start losing it a bit. So even if the money's coming in and everything's good, it's like keep chasing that next opportunity, all the angles.
Yeah.
I mean, and he said something too about like always being focused on growth, about not getting in your own way.
Yes.
He says you get little things from people, whether it be mentors or people you work with, little tidbits of information that you can take to make yourself a better person and to make the work that you do better. But a lot of people will get in their own way. Why do I have to do this extra? Why do I have to give them more effort in order to make myself better? And if you get in your own way, you're never going to see the growth that you could and the potential that you can possibly have. So take the little notes, take them in stride, and just go along with them.
Yeah, it takes a lot of humility too, doesn't it? Sometimes our own pride gets in the way too. It's like, you know what, I don't want to ask anybody because I'm afraid of what they're going to tell me and then the hard work that's going to follow, right? But it really takes some humility, invest in ourselves, and say, I want to learn. Let me ask that person, what are they doing that's making them so successful? Yeah, I'm going to have to make some changes. All right, I'm ready to do it. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's go.
Right.
So those are really good points from.
Yeah, another thing that he said, there's no shortcuts to success, right? There is no substitution for hard work. There just isn't. He was talking about, a lot of people have that mindset that somebody has that magic recipe. Somebody has the Glengarry leads, right? That technology, the marketing.
That one post goes viral.
A lot of people just think that, and that's not the reality. The reality is that you got to work hard.
Yeah.
You got to be disciplined. You got to dial daily, make phone calls, be consistent. There is no other way. This is it's a manual labor job. We have to be with it. And just networking and talking to people on a daily basis. I always get, people, oh, what is John down the street doing? How is he so successful? Yet they're at happy hour drinking, at 12 o'clock in the day. But John down the street is on the phones. He's calling clients. He's networking. He's doing it. He's working hard, right? And I think that a lot of LOs got stuck in 2 years ago where deals and leads were just coming to us.
Yep.
It ain't happening anymore. Your phone's not ringing the way it was in the past.
That's right.
Now we got to switch that mindset and change our approach. And now we got to go out there and work hard, work twice as hard now.
Yes.
To get, some leads, less leads than we were getting before. But the key is consistency and hard work.
But it will come back. And you just have to be ready and have that foundation already laid, which I think that goes in, that's Matt Ishbia again, but
Yeah.
how he started going into that he doesn't know when, but it's going to come back. So you're either going to be ready for it, basically, with all the work that you've done now, or, you may miss it.
Yeah.
Yep. And success leaves clues. Like, Tiffany's saying, pay attention to what Matt's doing, right?
Yeah.
Matt's building up. He's hiring. He's training. Megan always tells us, pay attention to what Matt's doing.
Yep.
And he's getting more people, more underwriters, more processors to help for what's coming. So we have to start anticipating ourselves, build our database, our client database, keep adding new clients, be consistent with our clients so that when the market turns, we're going to be ahead of the competition.
Yeah, and I think one other thing that Matt was talking about too is that knowledge drives confidence.
Yes.
And it may be a little bit slower of a time right now, but take that time to build up your knowledge. That way, when it does pick up, you're confident and you can tell people about all these different products. Like we had the phone call they showed with Terrence Mack, where he knew about every product to tell the people he was talking about from their company, to make them the best that they could be. If they had a question about something, he would bring up the hero program that they were talking about, and we can take kind of this time where it may not be like it was a couple years ago in the midst of the refi season, the refi boom, to build up our knowledge on these different topics and these new programs, with all these new programs that we're bringing out through UWM too, like the 580 to 619 FHA and stuff like that. We can learn all about that product. So when we do have someone that comes in, they know we're our one-stop shop. That's where they're going to come.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah, no, that's definitely powerful, Zach, because, let's call it for what it is, right? There's so many distractions today.
Yeah.
So many streaming platforms, so many social media platforms. Everyone's just, their eyes are stuck in either watching movies, shows, Instagram posts, that their days go by, their hours go by, and they're not taking the time to study and plan. Right? Because, Matt was talking about, knowledge, how do you build knowledge? We have tools, but people aren't using them.
That's right.
But in order to use the tools effectively, you have to take the time to learn about them. You got to take the time to read about our industry so you can be a voice, be a professional. So I think that time is key, to take that time to build our knowledge, and knowledge, is going to breed success, right? It's going to build our confidence to go to the next level, but there is no substitution to learn every single day, learn something new. Like Matt says, every day you got to get better.
Yeah, that's what you all said was so good. And time management is a there's courses on those things for a reason, because not all of us are very good at that, or maybe we're good at it and then we slip back a little bit. But if we apportion some of our day to social media and then get off of it and get working, make calls, meet with people, set up appointments, and those are the things that are going to produce. The social media scrolling has its purpose. You see what others are doing, maybe make some comments, you share, you like, especially our teammates as we're trying to do things. But there's a purpose to it, and then get off it, because you can, next thing you know, 4 hours have gone by. And it's like Netflix. You watch one thing, and next thing you know, you binge the whole season.
Yeah.
You're like, what just happened?
Right.
The other thing I really like too, in Matt's closing comments, talked about making our loans unshoppable. And there's so many ways we can do that helps us beat out the competition. In fact, Zach and I had an example of that. We were helping 2 borrowers that potentially are moving to Florida, and we came back and said, you know what, how about if we offer them a 28-year, I think it was 28 or 28-year fixed. That shaved off 2 years of the life of the loan for them, and they were very impressed with that. And we came in with great pricing with UWM. So, don't forget about the flex term loans that we have, the fixed pricing, those things. So it's, really, really important that we always know that we're up against a lot of competition out there. And we have to win. We have to make it so it's unshoppable. And we got to make sure we handle those safe checks. Those opt-outs are so important.
Yes.
So our borrowers aren't getting 40 calls a day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, that'd be
The
miserable.
safe check is amazing.
Yeah.
I just pitched that again yesterday, and I'm like, you won't get called a million times.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I think kind of one thing to bring it to close with what Matt said also is stopping is the only surefire way to fail. So we've just got to keep going. Even if it slows down, there's a lot of people leaving our industry, but what does that leave space for besides us to pick up the stuff that they left behind, So every day is a training day. Just take it, go use the tools we have in front of us, and make yourself better.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I love what he said. Everything worthwhile takes a while. That is powerful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
People want that quick, that quick success, right? Like the overnight success. It's not going to happen. Man, I was talking about, someone asked him, what does it take to be successful? He says, wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day for how long? 15 years,
Yeah.
5, 10, 15 years, right?
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, when you really take that and you digest it and you really, give it some thought, 15 years, waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day, are you willing to pay the price? Because that's the price to success. If you want to be successful at that level, right? Not everybody wants to be successful. If people don't want to be successful, this is not for them. But if you truly want to do it, it's that consistency of doing it every day and be great. It's the only way you're going to win.
Yeah, it takes what it takes.
Yes.
Is what he kept saying at the end too. If it's 15 years, whatever it is for us. And that's not in comparison what it took somebody else to do.
Right.
We praise them, whatever you did, great. It's not about them, it's about us.
Right.
We don't compare ourselves. It's going to take us maybe less time.
Right, yeah.
We roll up our sleeves, we're working harder.
Right.
The other thing I like too is Joe and I went to a seminar this summer entitled Exercise Patience. That's what we need. Mm-hmm. We need to be patient sometimes and keep working. Patience doesn't mean we slow down and stop working. It just means we work hard, and sometimes we have to wait for it to develop, wait for it to happen, and then we're right there. We've got the resources, and people are leaving this business, which is great news for us. Yeah. We're here. We're hiring. Just like UWM, we're hiring more people, and we have more LOs that are coming on shortly with us. It's an exciting time, we're positioning ourselves and we're going to knock it out of the park.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, that was a great recap of the Sales Huddle. Next week, we're going to be out there in person doing this stuff.
Yes,
it's
So
gonna be
we're
exciting.
super
It's gonna
be a good
excited.
time.
Thank you, Megan, for making this happen for us. And we're really excited. Let's make it a great week.